Hey everyone. Quick introductions. My name is JR Garcia. I'm the Director of Solutions Engineering here at A&M. So I help with design and architecture for the Southwest and our nationals team. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to secure generative AI applications. So this is something that comes up pretty often with clients. People are trying to understand how employees are using generative AI, and they're trying to make sure that none of their private data is getting uploaded to these LLMs to train these language models, making sure there's no personal identifiable information that's getting uploaded or proprietary information or anything like that. And so what I'm going to do today is go through a quick demo around a tool called SurePath AI that helps organizations kind of understand how people are using Gen AI and how to secure it. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started. All right. So here on my screen here, we've got Chat GPT. So this is by far the most popular generative AI application that's out there. Most people are kind of using it these days. And so what I wanted to do is kind of show a couple of different use cases and how we can apply some security around those use cases. So the first one is uploading some data to ChatGPT to summarize something. So what I've got here is an application, a resume. So let's say I am a hiring manager at a company. I have a bunch of resumes and I want ChatGPT to go ahead and summarize them for me. So what I've done here is just copied and pasted this resume, the sample resume into ChatGPT, and I'm going to simply ask ChatGPT to summarize this. Right. Now, in the background, I am running the tool called SurePath AI. And what that does is it redirects any traffic going to any generative AI applications through their cloud where we can apply a control policy to it. And so what I've done ahead of time is I've blocked any PII information from getting uploaded. So what this will do is we'll recognize that there's some personal identifiable information in this query and it should block it. So if I ask this to summarize this resume, I get the notification here from SurePath that says the sensitive data has been detected, HR has been notified, you will be terminated. Um, so this is modifiable. You can change what this message is. But as you can see, I've tried to upload some information that I don't want these LLMs to have access to, and it's been blocked. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go to my SurePath admin portal, just refresh it here, and I can take a look at user activity to see how the users are using these Gen AI applications. So this first one, you can see it got blocked here, right? So it got blocked because of a PII violation. So there's personal identifiable information in that query. It ended up getting blocked. If I click this little icon here, you can see the message that got sent to the user. And you have a little bit more data around what got blocked and why it got blocked, right? So there's a policy in here that shows what the user's intent was. So I wanted to summarize something, some HR data, and it was able to find some sensitive data within that query. The service that I was using, ChatGPT, and then a violation. So it discovered some information that shouldn't have been in there and it ended up getting blocked. How was that query sent out there? Was it an API call? Was it a browser? Some time, and then the trace ID. So we've got full audit logs on everything that gets blocked, or even things that do get through that are accepted. So as an example here, I'm able to access ChatGPT, but I'm unable to send across certain data. Now, if you take a look at this violation, what I want to do now is kind of show you what that policy looks like. So there's some things I have access to, other things that I don't. So if I go to group policies here, I can take a look at, sorry, go to default policies, and then I can take a look at all the different services that are either permitted or denied. So there's a whole list of different public AI services that are built into the application or that are built into this tool. And you can either permit or deny any of this stuff, and then have some custom messages if anything gets blocked, so the user knows why they are getting blocked from using that application. So as you can see here, I'm able to get to ChatGPT, also Hugging Face. Next thing, what I want to do is kind of show you what happens when a user tries to access a tool that is unauthorized. So let's say I want to go to Gemini. So Gemini, as you can see, was being blocked, and now what we're doing is we're redirecting that request to an internal tool. So the other thing that we can do with this, with SurePath, is give access to a private AI model. So in this particular use case, a user wants to use Gemini. Our policy says that is blocked, but you can use a private chatbot. So in this case, we've created a private chatbot that can be used by the user instead of that unauthorized public model. So now, if I take that same resume and paste that in here, and I say, summarize this resume, and then hit send, it'll actually go ahead and summarize it for me because we're using a private model. This data isn't getting uploaded to a public repository. So this is authorized. So it will summarize this for me. Whereas if I were to do it in ChatGPT, which is a public model, that traffic then gets blocked. So a couple other cool things that you can do here with this public or with this private AI model is feed it private data. So the way that we have this set up is it's actually crawling the A&M website, and I can ask it questions about the A&M website. So say, what is A&M Insights? And it pulls all that information off the website and gives you a brief summary. And so this is all private data. Now, if I were to try and do this on a public model, what is A&M Insights? It takes a minute to load, but it really doesn't have any idea what A&M Insights is, really, because there's a lot of things that could be. Whereas using the private model, it's got all the data that it's crawling from some private data sources. And we can tie this back to things like SharePoint. We can tie this back to Box, Dropbox, things like that, to be able to query this private model. But that is one other cool thing that we can do. Now, going back to the admin console here, a couple other things I wanted to show. One of the questions that we get all the time is users or organizations trying to understand how end users are using generative AI tools. And so what we can do is take a look to see what people are actually doing. So using a tool like SurePath, you can go in and see, what generative AI services employees are going to. So in this case, we're going to ChatGPT and Gemini in our lab here. You can see what's being blocked, what's being allowed, sensitive violations. So sensitive data violations are people uploading sensitive data to these tools and getting blocked. You can see who's actually doing that. Let this load here. percent of requests with sensitive data in it. Um, Group classification. So we can use different user groups, have different policies based on user groups. So this can get tied back to um, your identity source, and then only have specific have specific policies based on user. So this is a good way to kind of be able to take a look and see how end users are leveraging generative AI. What a lot of clients will do is pull this stuff up, put it in the middle in just a data collection mode, just to see how people are using the various tools out there, and then from there we can start applying controls and policy after the fact. And that is all I have. So with that, I will briefly just I'll stop sharing here and see if anybody has any questions you want to throw in the chat. But that is all I've got. Just a quick and easy demo of a generative AI security tool that we could easily use to identify how people are using Gen AI, and then also do some controls around that.